Hello everyone, nubkeks here, welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video we've got the Fusion event calendar for Tholin Foulbeard, so let's take a look and let's see what we make of it. It is, as we can see, a traditional fusion. There are 16 copies of this rare up for grabs, and one additional copy of the epic, so you've got a choice, right? You could get this extra epic, and then skip 4 copies of the rare from anywhere you so choose, or you could collect all 16 rares and skip the epic. They are void rares, so I guess it would depend on. You could gamble and hope to pull one from a void shard, but to me, that's a pretty bad gamble. I wouldn't take it. Let's actually take a quick look at them. I actually haven't looked at these champions yet. So he is a void rare Glen Sage Sith Rel. He looks very bland, but fine. He's all right. He's got 50% chance of the small decrease accuracy. He has an AoE attack 3-turn cooldown with a 75% chance of heal reduction. That's actually kind of unusual. And then he has a 4-turn cooldown when booked. 1-turn block debuffs on all allies with a 15% turn meter fill. He's got 102 base speed. He's pretty meh. Yeah, he's pretty meh. I doubt you would use him. You might use him for some very niche stages of Faction Wars Hard. With AoE heal reduction, but I think 1 turn of block debuffs. I wouldn't be too bothered about him, honestly. He's kind of forgettable. And I think the other guy looked like an Ogren, maybe? No, not an Ogren. Maybe he's an Orc? No? Is Skinwalker? Okay, he's a Skinwalker. Here we go. Naroks Blackhorn. I mean, visually, he looks quite cool, actually, I think. I do like him. He's sick. Very Beastman vibe. Defense champion. Standard enough base stats. Let's take a look. Knee Smasher, double hit. 50% chance on each hit of decreased speed. That's actually not bad. 2 50% chances is approximately a 75% chance. Not bad. Means to an end. 4-turn cooldown when booked. Ally protection on all allies except him, and counterattack on him. Okay. Mini Skull Crusher, right? No, the opposite. Skull Crusher puts counterattack on everyone, but this guy only puts it on himself. So not quite. Don't want to overhype by accident. Bullish Fighters, 5 to a 4-turn cooldown AoE attack with a provoke 50 booking to 75% chance. Cannot be resisted if this champion's defense is lower than the target's. That's a bit weird. Reflect damage on all allies. Okay, a bit weird. Loathed Pariah. Whenever an enemy attacks an ally under ally protection, has a 15% chance to provoke them. Okay, that's not bad. Defense and faction crypts. He seems okay. He seems like very much a faction crypt type champion, really. AoE provokes for the waves, reflect damage for a bit of damage against the bosses, ally protection on him. And he's going to be pretty consistent, actually, with his self counterattack buff and with, again, roughly 75% chance to decrease speed. Not bad. Not bad. You might want to, for example, as well, you might want to put him in I don't know, a Frostbite set or something. Give him the mastery to up your chance of landing provoke and frost freeze, that sort of thing. It could be kind of fun. He seems okay. Nothing too special, but might be helpful if you're lacking control. For Skinwalkers, I mean, that being said, I do think Skinwalkers is one of the easier factions because you got such strong damage dealers. But I think he synergizes well. He's not a damage dealer, so I think that works well. Right, take a look at this. First of all, we have the Summon Rush event. Let's not have a soft brush. Let's have a hard brush. Summon Rush with the bonus epic. So yeah, you might go for it. You might want to copy this bonus epic. It's really up to you. He's not like a must get or anything, and I don't think the rare is a must get, but they might be a little bit helpful for Faction Wars. And maybe a little bit helpful for Cursed City as well. Yeah, they're decent. Maybe a little bit helpful for Doom Tower on the Naroks Blackhorn or Blackhorn. So yeah, you might go for an extra copy. I would be guessing probably about 10 sacreds worth for this guy, and for just the rare, hard to know. I'd maybe guess maybe about 6 sacreds. Something like that would be my guess. That's likely to be the biggest cost. We also do have a Champion Chase tournament at near the end of the fusion. Now, what you want to do for this is, well, you can, if you do all of these previous events and tournaments, you could collect 4, so 1 copy, a 2nd copy, and then you could easily pick up a 3rd copy. So you can get, you can easily get at least 12 rares, and then fuse them into the epic to get effectively 750 points from fusing the epic during this Champion Chase tournament. So you can again like fuse up, so like Fuse. Let's do x3. And let's say, I don't know, equals 750. And that's probably how many. That's a good chunk of the points you need. It's only a rare, again, up for grabs here. It's going to probably put you a good chunk of the way. I'd be guessing maybe like 2,500, 3,000 points in Champion Chase for it. You can use any previous fragment champions you've collected. If you get any login champs at the time as well, that helps. Yeah, should hopefully not be too bad. Yeah, the only issue is I'm not actually 100% sure what type of shard event we're due. I'm not sure. So let me know. Do you guys know in the comments? Let me see. I think it is probably, it might be 2x Voids or 2x Ancients, I think. We had 2x Sacreds most recently, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's either Ancients or Voids, I think. I don't know. We'll see. You probably would do it with Ancients anyway. 2x Voids is fine to do too. 2x for Sacred's kind of bad. So it's going to be one of the easier ones. 2x Sacreds is the worst, and I think it's probably not that. Again, let me know in the comments for sure what it is going to be. One thing to watch out for as well, of course, you will need some potions to ascend up these champions. That's worth mentioning as well. Void potions for the rare, and some blue potions for the epic. Let me actually see. So, for example, to fully ascend a 4-star rare, which is what you need to do 16 times, you're going to need this amount of potions times 16. And for, let me see. Here we go. Actually, we need a 5-star, let's say epic, 5-star, magic, through the Master Vault, include the Reserve Vault. I've got none. Oh, great. Well, here we go. We can see, imagine it with Spirit, but don't get Spirit potions, get blue ones. So you need this number of potions times 4. So, 12 of the big white ones and 24 of the big blue ones, and then some of the smaller ones as well. So yeah, that's roughly what you need just to make sure, you don't get caught out missing those potions at the end when you go to fuse them during the champion chase, and then you awkward to do during the champ chase if you don't have them saved up. Okay, let's look at some of the more basic stuff. Always good to get that out of the way and clear this up a bit. Classic Arena 1 and Classic Arena 2. Very straightforward. Just farm Classic Arena. Make sure you use all your tokens every day. So long as you're in at least silver, it should be fine. If you're in gold, it should be no problem whatsoever. Gear enhancement. We've got 1, we've got 2, and we have 3. So 3 different gear enhancement events. You're looking at, to be safe, about 20 million silver per. So 20 million to be safe. You might need a little more than that if you're unlucky. You probably need a bit less than that, honestly. Again, the key to doing this is stop with gear enhancement as soon as you get the reward that you need. So in this case, stop as soon as you get the rare and start saving for the next one. And then obviously between fusions, just don't upgrade gear. Just wait for fusions. And that's how you do it. You'll pick up quite a bit of silver over the course of this fusion as well, of course. So there you go. 20 million for each of those. About 60 million total, just to be safe. Then we have, we've got a few Dungeon Divers. So we've got Dungeon Divers 1 over here, Dungeon Divers 2, and isn't everyone happy to see Dungeon Divers 3? That's right. We've got 3 different Dungeon Divers. These are the worst. They're big energy sink, and there's no easy way around them. I guess the easy way around it would be to pick up the epic from the Summon Rush and not have to do these. But yeah, that's sort of how it goes. Then when we look at the dungeons, so luckily, Spider fully overlaps the first Dungeon Divers, and indeed they both start today. So you can actually start on Spider today. In fact, let me say, let's just make that our priority at the start, and then we should probably peter off with the Spider. You should really get Spider done today and tomorrow, and then have the rest of Dungeon Divers 1 more dedicated to campaign farming with champion training. That'll be my recommendation. Ice Golem, when that starts on Sunday, probably don't worry until Monday, and then kick off big time on Monday. Yeah, I'd be saying Monday and Tuesday should be big Ice Golem time. Get it done for Dungeon Divers 2. Then you need to finish off Dungeon Divers 2. Dragon Tournament, again, you can kind of chill for the first 2 days, actually, and then go hard. Now, I would just be careful. In fact, yeah, I would be careful. Let me put like a little line here. This is the weekend, right? So in theory, you could get all of it done on Saturday. So Saturday, Dungeon Divers 3 starts. Go hard on Dragon. If you cannot farm Dragon fast enough to get it easily done in 1 day, or if it's Saturday and you're going to be busy and you might forget, I would be careful, and I would consider doing it like over here. We'll put some bigger lines just to indicate. I think it's totally fine In fact, really to do it at any point. You could totally do it earlier if you want to. We don't even need, sorry, this line over here is not actually helping us. So get rid of that. You can do it earlier if you want to. Just make sure not to miss it. Basically, Fire Knight does overlap with this Dungeon Divers, and then really we should be kind of done early. And that's how it's looking. So, yeah. Dungeon Divers 1, do it with Spider. And then finish it off with some champ training as well. In fact, let's switch to maybe like a nice orange color over here. Go nice orange. So with champ training, I like don't start it straight away, but then go pretty hard. And then like we can really do it here is just fine as well. And then I'd be saying, okay, then peter off with that. You can still do it, of course, but you're probably better switching to Ice Golem at that point. And then this champion training over here, you can, basically do it here is totally fine. Let's say maybe priority dragon right there, and then sort of get it done whenever, swap to fire. In fact, let's say probably not leave it too late. Swap over to Fire Knight, maybe around here, something like that. That seems pretty good. Yeah, like whatever, squeeze an extra day. Something like that, roughly speaking. So it depends what you want to do. You can mix and match. You could obviously double up, right? You could do potentially a bit of Dragon Tournament with food and do both of the events at the same time if you got the right team for it. Yeah, that is actually all the events. It's fairly standard, it looks to me, for a classic fusion. Doesn't seem too bad. I think the biggest trick is yeah, probably this Dragon Tournament is sort of a bit in the middle of nowhere. I do feel like next week is just a bit in the middle of nowhere. This feels a little sparse in events, whereas the weekends are a bit more jam-packed. I don't know. They might drop some extra stuff or summoning events or something. Yeah, you know what they're like. There'll probably be a Sand Devil tournament or something at the same time on like Tuesday, Wednesday or something. We'll see. This doesn't look too bad. If you were to take this epic extra, which events would you skip? In that case, you've obviously fully maxed out the Summon Rush. Skipping the Champion Chase is reasonable. I'd say skipping Dungeon Divers 3 and Dragon Tournament would also be pretty good. Potentially skipping the Fire Knight Tournament. So I'd probably look towards skipping stuff near the end. Bearing in mind that this over here should be CVC, but it's probably not personal rewards. We just had personal rewards, so this one's probably fairly chill. But this would probably be the ideal to a potentially good time to fuse him. We should hear at the weekend, so on like Friday probably, whether or not this is personal reward CVC. So depending, if it is personal reward CVC, definitely fuse him during CVC. If it's not, you could probably fuse him during the Champion Chase. You can finish everything on Sunday. Everything has started by Sunday. So you could finish and fuse him during Champion Chase on Sunday and maybe grab yourself a legendary book from that Champion Chase as well. So that is something you can consider too. You'll get the 4th epic and that. I guess the final tip would be to save brews for this Champion Training event. You can use some books if you want on the Champion Training Tournament, though you're generally better saving them for personal reward CVCs. But I'd be focusing a reasonable amount on campaign for a Champion Training Tournament over here. So you can get some Dungeon Divers value and save your brews for the Champion Training event so that when you fuse up these epics into the rares into the epic, you can just level those epics up really quickly with brews, get lots of champ training points quickly, and have them ready to fuse on time for the end of the fusion. That'd be sort of some tips there. So yeah, quick thoughts as well. Do I think he's worth going for? I think he's pretty darn solid, yeah. I've seen some weirdly mixed opinions on him, which is a bit strange from my testing. I put up the showcase today. I thought that he was like, probably not quite as good as Thor, but pretty similar. Like they're in a pretty similar ballpark is what I found. He's a glass cannon, right? Loads of damage, but super squishy. So he's sort of that vibe of champion. Yeah, that's right. So he's good. He's really good. He hits really, no question, he hits really hard. But he does sort of fall over at a stiff breeze was my my findings on him. So he's solid. But there we go. That is Tholin Foulbeard. That is his fusion plan. For me, I probably will go for the Summon Rush. I'll probably get the epic from the Summon Rush, honestly. And then I will probably skip a bunch, like I said, the events towards the end. Probably skip Dragon, probably skip Fire Knight, Dungeon Divers 3, and maybe the Champ Training event or the Champion Chase tournament. Bearing in mind, I do strongly expect, I don't think, is it live in game yet? I don't think it is, but the Coalition event, which we know is starting, and we got a sneak preview, this is the final tip, we did get a sneak preview that for the Coalition event, there are long-term quests for fusing Tholin, for leveling him up, for booking him, for using him to beat the event dungeon, and so on, for getting his soul. A 5-star soul for him is one of the things as well. There's almost definitely going to be a Hero's Path or a Titan event after the fusion for his soul. So you might want to save up for that as well, particularly if you're like super high. If you're like, whoa, a Thor-esque type fusion. Let's say you're someone who doesn't have Thor, you missed it. Or, you know, you really need another good damage dealer on your account. You don't have a good force damage dealer. I mean, it could be absolutely well worth stockpiling more resources to try target that soul. It'd definitely be worthwhile because a damage dealer really benefits from their soul. And yeah, it would also open him up to, you don't really want to build much accuracy on him because he's ignoring resistance in certain situations. But like a 5-star soul, the accuracy you get from that is quite nifty. And yeah, like getting a more powerful Nature's Wrath or Soul Reap or Lightning Cage, getting a 5-star blessing is quite nice as well to make him just a good bit more effective in whatever area content you decide to use him. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Hopefully it was helpful. And yeah, if there's any other tips, and again, if you guys have any clue as to which 2X event is coming up, please do let us know so we can help make that decision a bit easier. Of course, they could always do whatever they want. It's Plarium, but there are patterns to it and whatnot. Anyway, there we go. That's it. Finally. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.